What's going on, everyone? I am just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Norwegian football culture. So, like most Americans, I don't play football. I don't watch any football or what we call soccer here in the US. So there really isn't a football culture here in the United States, but I do know that it is very, very popular sport in Europe. And from what I understand, it's also a very exciting time in Norway because you guys actually qualified for the World Cup, right? So today, I want to take a look at this video and learn about what football is like in Norway and what you guys think about it and what Norwegian football culture is. So let's take a look.
Smoke,
Wow.
flares, flags. This isn't a Champions League
God.
night in Istanbul. They're just league games in Norway.
Whoa.
Now, you might think Norwegian football is all about Erling Haaland and Martin Ødegaard.
Whoa! Okay, first of all, I gotta say, you guys got some passion. I don't know what. Are you allowed to do this? What is what is this? Is this okay? It looks like a war zone. You don't see this in American football. I'm not talking about soccer. I'm talking about American football. You don't see craziness like this. And I thought we were passionate about it. You guys are next level. Okay.
And sure, they're world-class talents, as are many Norwegians playing overseas today. But there's so much more to football in Norway. Now, I grew up with...
I mean, yeah, a lot of Americans don't even know, like, football players internationally. Like Erling Haaland, I know is a really good Norwegian football player, but a lot of Americans have never even heard of him or any other football player from any country, really. So, yeah, that's not even what we think of when we hear football. We just don't think of anything. I don't know anything.
English football culture. And Norwegian football culture is, well, it's quite different, actually, and it's full of surprises. Since moving to Norway, I've become more and more interested in the domestic game. And in the seasons when I can afford to, I follow my team all around Norway. During that time, I've learned a lot about Norwegian football.
So within Norway, there are like teams, like regional teams, or maybe like depending on your city. Because yeah, we have that in the U.S., like with basketball teams and baseball teams and American, like NFL, like American football teams, and sure, yeah, and you become a fan, and you're okay. I can relate to that.
Here are 10 things you need to know about Norwegian football.
Okay.
Number 1, it's a summer sport. Let's start with something that surprises a lot of people, even though it really shouldn't. Football in Norway is a summer sport.
Why would that be surprising? Summer is when the good weather is. That's when you would want to play it. Why is that? That's not surprising to me. I don't.
In fact, I'm just back from a visit to Oslo, where I took in a game in scorching conditions at the height of summer. The season usually begins in April and ends in late autumn. That's because playing through the winter simply isn't practical in much of Norway.
That makes sense.
So, instead of freezing matches in the darkness of January, you get evening kickoffs in the summer sunshine. At least in theory.
Do other European countries like spread out the football so it's like more mild weather? Maybe is summer unusual because it's like very, very hot? Or yeah, I was thinking Norway has... You don't want to be playing this in the cold, right? So this makes sense.
In November, a few years ago, I stood on a freezing terrace in Hamar in a temperature of -14. And these were the scenes a few weeks later in Oslo.
What?
There's also a short summer break of 2 to 3.
Wait, what? Wait. There are some Norwegians who do play in the winter? Are you crazy?
Scenes a few weeks later in Oslo. There's also a short summer break of 2 to 3 weeks, and that's usually in June. This means that Eliteserien games in July tend to be sparsely attended because that's when most Norwegians are on vacation.
Okay.
Number 2,
Huh.
many Norwegians support an English team.
Oh.
Ask a Norwegian who they support, and you're just as likely to hear Manchester United, Liverpool, or Spurs as you are Rosenborg, Vålerenga, or Bodø/Glimt.
That is very difficult for me to understand. As an American, like I don't even know other sports teams in other countries. I don't even know them. I only know American sports and American sports teams. But I guess in Europe and in Norway, clearly, you guys are definitely more aware, especially, it makes sense, I guess, with football, which is very international, if I understand. I don't know any English football team, but yeah, that's interesting. I don't even really know how it all works because is there just one team for England or there's a bunch? Are there more than one for Norway? Or?
Premier League football has a massive following here, thanks mainly to English matches being shown live on Norwegian TV
Yeah, Premier League. I don't really know what that is.
for decades. Many fans
Huh.
have a local team and a Premier League team,
Oh,
and the loyalty to
okay.
the latter can run deeper. If you travel
Okay.
from Norway to England on a weekend, don't be surprised to see a bunch of Norwegians on board wearing English football shirts.
That's so funny how, like, you could just go to England on the weekend. Like, if you fly from Norway to England, like, that's not that crazy, I guess. That's a totally different mindset. For Americans, like, I think that's why. That's one of the reasons we don't really follow other sports. We feel so far away.
Premier League travel is big business from Norway these days.
Huh.
Number 3, away fans aren't a big thing. In Europe's
Okay.
big leagues, away supporters are a loud and visible part of the matchday experience. It's certainly something I enjoyed during my years back in England. But in Norway,
Okay.
not so much. Very long distances, high travel costs, and small supporter groups for some clubs mean that away sections are often sparsely populated.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, even in popular American sports, there's the home team and the away team, and that's too bad. Yeah, that's kind of sad for the traveling team.
One exception to this is actually for games in Oslo. That's because there are people from all over Norway living in the capital, more so than any other city.
Okay.
So Oslo-based fans of other Norwegian teams usually turn out in force whenever their team plays in the Oslo region.
Okay.
Number 4, lively fan groups.
Oh.
Now, while the crowds here may not match the size of those in England or Germany, many clubs still have passionate ultras and supporters groups
Oh
who
my
bring
God.
noise, colour, and creativity to the stands.
This is so much crazier than any American sports experience. With the smoke, like you wouldn't even be allowed to do. You would not be allowed to do this in the U.S. It'd be like a fire hazard, and the giant flags, and I love it. It's really cool. Respect to your passion, and I almost wish this was more a part of our sports, like this level of hype.
Big city clubs like Vålerenga, Brann, Rosenborg, and Viking all have active groups who organise chants,
Ha!
flags, coordinated displays, and sometimes pyrotechnics.
What? What? I mean, I can't imagine. I would think a bomb had gone off if I saw this.
Even though these days the use of pyro is heavily regulated and all but banned, and clubs regularly get fined for it. But it's not just the
Okay.
top clubs. Smaller teams also have dedicated fan bases too. Overall, the vibe is passionate, but it's mostly family friendly in an.
Sometimes in the US, there are college sports that have like chants because it's like a lot of college students watching. Sometimes that has like some hand gestures but it doesn't compare to all this very much.
Norwegian stadium. Norwegian football culture values inclusion, and many supporter sections welcome all ages and backgrounds.
Cool.
Number 5, local derbies aren't always local. Given Norway's geography, local is a very relative term. Take the Northern Derby between Tromsø and Bodø/Glimt, for example, which I was fortunate enough to actually see in person this year. Those cities are nearly 500 kilometers apart to drive.
Wow.
But it's still the most heated fixture in the north. No.
I think a lot of Americans, like, I don't realize how big Norway is. Like, it's actually, because it has such a small population, it's actually very long and quite big, right?
As the battle for northern Norway. Now, some derbies are truly local, like Vålerenga versus Lyn or Lillestrøm, but others do stretch that definition a bit.
What is a derby? A derby? I don't understand what that word means. A derby. So I don't really understand what he's talking about here.
Number 6, a one-team country again. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Rosenborg dominated Norwegian football. In fact, they were the only Norwegian team I could name, having grown up in England during that time.
Oh, I don't even know this team. Rosenborg. I don't know any of these teams. Oh, boy.
They were a regular fixture in the UEFA Champions League, getting out of the group stage several times and giving some European giants a fright along the way.
Oh, cool.
Now, those glory days are long gone, but in Trondheim, the memories are very much still alive.
Oh.
However, there is another team threatening to become the new Rosenborg, and in fact, they pretty much already are.
Oh.
Bodø/Glimt have won the league title 4 times since 2020, and at the time of recording this video, have reached the group stage of the Champions League for
Bodø/Glimt? What is this?
the first time.
So that's a Norwegian team who's doing very well. Is that the one that qualified for the World Cup, or I don't know how any of this works.
7. Women's football has a proud history.
Oh.
Women's football is growing in popularity across the world, but it's been popular here in Norway for decades.
Funny enough, if there is any soccer, football in the US, it's probably more well known for women in the United States. Soccer, football is it's more of a woman's sport here, you could say, especially professionally.
The national team has a proud history, including a World Cup title in 1995 and Olympic gold in 2000. That has spread interest in the domestic game across Norway, and it's grown in recent years, with more matches broadcast live on TV and more support from the clubs in the men's game. In recent years,
Cool.
Norwegian clubs have also competed in the Champions League. There's still a way to go, of course, but the foundations are strong.
I think the American women's soccer team is just like accomplished the most. So that's why it's like the most known here anyway.
Number 8, the national team is a bit of a roller coaster.
Okay.
Now, the Norwegian men's national team have not qualified for a major tournament since Euro 2000, despite possessing arguably 2 of the world's best players in.
This is the team that qualified for the World Cup, right? The Norwegian national team. Okay.
Holland and Ødegaard. At the time of recording this video, hopes are high the team can qualify for the 2026 World Cup.
Oh,
After
yeah.
a positive start to the qualification campaign, however, there's still a way to go and anything can happen.
You did
The women have had more success historically, but have also struggled in recent tournaments. Number 9, VAR is controversial.
VAR? I'm not sure what that means.
Like in many other countries, the introduction of video assistant referees, VAR, has not gone smoothly. VAR was introduced to Eliteserien in 2023, and ever since, it's been a constant source of debate and disagreement among players, fans, pundits, and coaches.
Sure, like, I think a lot of sports are definitely over the years have embraced, like, computer-assisted refereeing and judging, and for some sports, it's actually been a very, very good improvement. I don't know what, in football, like, what virtual assisted refereeing really looks like.
Supporters complain about the long delays, the lack of transparency, and decisions that still seem inconsistent even after video reviews. Many supporter groups have openly protested against VAR,
That's
holding
annoying.
up banners or going silent during matches to make their point.
Sure.
The Football Federation here in Norway insists that the system will improve over time, but for now, VAR remains one of the most divisive topics in Norwegian football.
Yeah, because it's annoying when technology decides like the outcome of a sport, and it feels bad, and especially if you don't understand how it came to its decision. And in football, it feels like there's not that many close calls. You don't need technology too much for football, I would think.
Number 10. The 16th of May is a big night on the football calendar.
Oh!
Back in England, Boxing Day is always a highlight of the football calendar, and it was the day I looked at before any other when the fixtures came out.
This is the Norwegian Constitution Day, right?
The full round of fixtures on the 26th of December had a real festive feel to them, and it was always a highlight whoever the opponents were. But in Norway, it's the night before Constitution Day when football takes centre stage. That's the 16th of May, and it's traditionally packed.
Right, the 17th of May is the day. So this is the day before.
With league fixtures and a festive matchday atmosphere.
Norway has a special football sort of celebration the day before the national day. I did not know that.
Many clubs draw their biggest home crowds of the season, and for football fans, the round of fixtures on the 16th is just as important as the parades and festivities the following day.
Cool.
Watch this video next to learn more.
Oh, that's it. Well, this was a lot of fun, actually. Like I said, like most Americans, I don't know much of anything about football, but learning about it, how it is in Norway, actually taught me a lot about football in general. And that also in Norway, you guys have an amazing way of appreciating it, celebrating it, playing it. You're having all this success now recently. So yeah, I thought this would be cool to look at. And it really was. It's something that you just don't see here in the US at all. So this was quite a lot of fun. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like, or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of this Norwegian football stuff, especially if you're a fan or a Norwegian football enthusiast. That'd be cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and seeing Norwegian things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.